Hi, I'm Ben the Learner and I'm about to start my 4th week in my challenge of not more than $20 of grocery store per week. Welcome to this episode. In this episode, I'm gonna talk about did I succeeded, how hard it was, what type of grocery did I make, what were the strategy and the lessons learned, and what's next. Did I succeed? I don't think so. Not exactly. Because if I look at the 4 grocery that I did, it gives like $17, $37, $17, and $19. So there's like an outlier there, the $37. But I think that I succeed in the intention. Was that hard? Was that hard? Not really. I'm gonna give 2 reasons for that. The first reason is it was not that difficult because I had a lot of things in my freezer and especially in the refrigerator. So I had a lot of vegetable, a lot of fruit. So the first 2 weeks were basically spent just eating the stuff that I had in my fridge. But the 3rd week was starting to be a little bit more complex, but I went through it quite easily. The second reason why it was not that difficult is because, as you may remember, I had a lot of junk food too. So for my, would say, mental health, I would say I survived. But I didn't go through all my reserve of junk food, popcorn, chips. In fact, I think I went through just half of it. And the solution was to do my own popcorn. What type of grocery? Now if I look back at the grocery that I made 4 grocery, and let's look at it and I'm gonna give a bit of feedback on it. First of all, the first grocery, the thing that I have to know about it is that I bought potatoes and peanuts that can stay for more than 1 or 2 consumption. I have potatoes maybe for 10 times and peanuts I have maybe the equivalent of 10 snacks in it. It's important because the remaining, like the tomato or the avocado, well, you eat once or 2, but that's it. You don't have any more portions. The second grocery, well, was more expensive because there was that yogurt there, like $9, and there was a lot of meat in it, so that's why. But I was buying that in more like an objective of long term, not eating all of that in the next week, but keeping it for 2 or 3 weeks. So that was a long-term grocery. I thought I would be able to kind of really reduce the other grocery, but I realized it was not possible. Third grocery was really weird. Maybe if you look at it, it consists of a big bag of frozen strawberry, 2 bags of popcorn, and just 1 liter of milk. You might wonder, what is that? Well, I had enough food like meat and vegetable for the 3rd week. Didn't really need to buy them. What I really need was for my lunch. In order to remain energized, I don't want to eat too much for lunch. So the strategy was to basically drink a smoothie, like a protein shake. The fruit that I put in my shake normally is strawberry. Now with 2 kilograms of strawberry, I'm probably good for at least 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And the popcorn, like I said before, it's like instead of going and buy chips at $3 the bag, I can do popcorn every evening for 25 cents. Of course, the goal is not to do popcorn every evening. And finally for the 4th grocery, we can see a big pack of sausage, but keep in mind, I'm not gonna eat that all in a week. It's probably 5 to 7 portions in that. And I needed coffee because I was starting to run out of coffee, believe it or not. So that was the big highlight, with some vegetable as well. Frozen vegetable because it's easy to manage, and also because the price of fresh vegetable is very high. And I read that frozen vegetable are really good because they keep their vitamins, so it's better than vegetable in cans. Lessons learned. What are the lessons learned? Well, it's not difficult. I had to make a plan to know what I would buy. So what is very good when you make a plan is that I'm gonna put what I eat for breakfast, a snack, what I eat for lunch, then another snack, then for the supper, or the dinner in English. That's great, I made a plan. But what I realized is that when you made a plan, it's very easy to make a list of what you need because you make a list of what is missing in your inventory that you kind of plan to eat during the week. So I realize you need to be flexible, because when you go to the grocery store, you might realize there are some stuff in discount that you didn't foresee, and this is what happened. When I would eat an apple for snack every morning, and I went to the grocery store and I realized that the price of apple was twice the price of clementine. I told myself, well, I really like clementine, so why not buy clementine? I just made that with the assumption that apple were cheaper. And then you also have to adapt yourself when comes time to prepare your meal. Because for instance, in the second week, I realized that I had eggs in my fridge. I didn't really know, I didn't remember I had that. And I look at the date where they will start not to be eatable, apparently, and it was like in 1 week. I said, oh, I have to eat that. So my whole planning of the week was gone, because I had to push the things that I decided to eat. But guess what? It's good, because it means that the stuff that I've been buying for that particular week could be transferred to the other week. And also we can see that in the fridge there's not a lot of things remaining. There's a pot with pickles, alright. There's still my great salami that is there, but carrots, and I can tell you that carrots are very good when it's the only things that remain for a snack. And some milk when I want to make my coffee, or if I want to do my shake. Then I have my congelators, more like in Spanish, let's say freezer. I have the apple, and I still have the popsicle. You can see them, they are still there. I didn't open the box, but I'm gonna have to open them because this is a no-name brand, and by experience they tend not to, I mean, they're not good for a long time. By mean of that, the taste is good, but the stick will just not stay there. So you try to remove it and the stick just stay in your hand. That's not a good thing. I still have my pork chop and some coffee. What's next? So what's next? Will I continue? Well, I'm gonna continue this week for sure, because I went to the grocery store today, and probably I'm gonna try to continue it for another week, and I'm gonna make an assessment there, because maybe I will tell myself, okay, I have to spend that amount of money for that type of food, but for vegetable, for instance, have this big amount of money. And now I've been used to do grocery at $20. If I say to myself, okay, so let's go to 40, it's like the double. It's like, wow, there's gonna be a lot of things I can buy, and $40 per week is already a lot less than what I was spending sometimes. So I think that would be a good challenge, but maybe I would have to try to eat more vegetable. The other things also that I want to mention is that I didn't lose weight during that time. Maybe I ate too much popcorn. But what I'm doing with my fridge, that I'm emptying it. I'm emptying it. So, and I'm probably preparing for 1 or 2 phases of fasting for more than 1 day, like 2-3 days of fasting. And so for that I need to have a fridge that is basically empty, because it reduces a lot the temptation. I also want to mention that I didn't eat rice for the last 3 weeks. So I told at the beginning in my other video that I was trying this experiment knowing that I have a lot of reserve of supply of rice and pasta. I did eat pasta, so that's important to mention. I did pasta with sausage. I really like that, so you can kind of guess I'm gonna do that with the sausages that I bought. But rice, no, I didn't do it. Sometimes I would put it in my soup, but that's almost the only time I would eat rice those times. And I want to avoid eating too much carbs, so I have already potatoes that I really like with pepper sauce, which is like, very good. But rice, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm gonna eat that much. And also I want to eat more vegetable, and that's why the planning of $20 is gonna be very difficult, because eventually I want to eat something else than frozen vegetable. That's it. So probably I'm gonna try to do another update of that experiment in 2 or 3 weeks. So until then, I wish you a very great winter. It's almost like already done. No, that's a joke. It's just end of January, but we still have like 2 good months of winter here in Canada. So I wish you a great time.